man has spearheaded, specifically with millennials, is off the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the BA stage, Dr. Kent Wessinger.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to just jump right into the deep end. I know sometimes that can be a little cold, sometimes it can be a little intimidating, but I have a feeling I'm in a room where very few people are ever intimidated. So I want to start by asking you a question. Are you in the 78% or the 22%? 78 or 22? Think about those numbers as I go through this. What that 78-22 tell me is in my proprietary research, only 22% of all organizations have an informed strategy to attract, engage, and retain this current workforce. Only 22%. When we segment out the largest portion of this workforce, which is millennial, that number drops to 16%. So if we use 22% as the baseline, this is what we know. It means that 78% of all organizations have no strategy to solve their workforce crisis. It means that 78% of all organizations are not positioning their employee base for sustainable growth. It means that 78% of all organizations have their head in the sand, hoping when they pull their head back out of the sand that this workforce crisis will be over with. Now, when we think about understanding, I think that all of us know that to solve this employee workforce crisis, there's a lot of people that are throwing things against the wall. Whatever sticks the longest, they're bringing to some of you. You're funding those things. And unfortunately, many of you are realizing that as I continue to fund these things, I continue to get the same broken results. And maybe it's because we're just hoping to solve something that maybe we just don't have the information of how to accurately solve this information or this crisis. Many of you in this room, you pilot great ships. You run great organizations. You manage great companies. But yet for some reason, we've reached this place where it seems like some of our most critical people, our top talent, our most important employees seem to be bailing out of the ship in a critical period, but they're also bailing out. As some of you have already alluded to today, they're bailing out for reasons that confound us, that we just can't wrap our minds around. Why would they be bailing from our ship? Our ship has been tested. It's been battle tested. Many of your organizations have bullet holes from all of the missions that it has flown. But yet you continue to fly, you continue to soar, and you continue to build a great organization that has stability and structure. And yet there are people that continue to bail from this structure that positions us in a mindset of perplexity. Why would they do that? Why would they jump out? As we think about those employees bailing, how do we keep those employees in the plane? And how do we keep our plane flying? Well, one of the things, because this is my lane, I read just about everything that comes out in regard to attraction, engagement, and retention. I watch every little, social media piece, or watch all supposed business leaders who've had these one-line quips about how to keep our plane flying, or how to keep our structure moving in the right direction. And I can tell you, not the majority, but I can tell you unanimously, all of the information that I hear and see is structured, that's written specifically to you to solve your workforce crisis, is written from one slant, one perspective. And that slant and perspective is to help you survive. They know that's your vulnerability. They know in a moment of crisis, you're looking to just survive. In the 8 years this research project has been open, the top 6 answers from non-millennial participants, which are leaders, the top 6 answers have stayed static. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think migration? The employee retention rate, boomers 19.1 years, Gen X 10.2 years. By the way, I drew a line in the research project in January 2020 to this point right now because there has been some shift due to the pandemic. I'm going to answer that bottom one in just a moment. But boomers 19.1 years, Gen X 10.2 years. In January 2020, the average millennial stayed on the job. Anybody have any idea? The greatest transfer of wealth in the history of humanity is underway right now. Guess who's the benefactor of that transfer of wealth? Millennials. Guess how far we are into that transfer? 4 to 6%. There is a long way left to go. And if we do not have a strategy to attract this, especially this client base, which is contingent on how well we retain this millennial workforce, we're going to find ourselves in a world of trouble and miss out. Not only are they consumers financially, but they're quickly becoming the decision makers. Some of you may have watched Jeff Bezos' State of Amazon address just a couple of months ago. In that State of Amazon address, one of the things he said was that every single plant in America that Amazon owns, they have a 100% turnover every 12 months. This workforce crisis is not only legitimate, there are some that are hypothesizing that it's going to go away, that we're beginning to see a shift. I can passionately argue that's not true numerically, because for the first time in American history, we have more jobs than we have people to fill those jobs. And because of that, this workforce, look, unless we can just start manufacturing babies that become adults to fill, the workforce, it ain't happening. It's going to stay and remain at that place. There are many economists that believe this is not just a short window, but this is a 30-year window that we've got to solve. So my time's up. I'm going to stop there. What I would like to do is, I'm just going to repeat what Carrie did. Carrie and I, as we're forming this relationship, Carrie and I have become stronger together. Carrie and I believe that we have a great mission, and that mission is a mission of meaning. And that mission of meaning is going to help you and many of your clients, we hope, solve this retention issue, this workforce crisis that is positioning you in a place where you could either achieve your sustainable growth goals or fall short of them. Appreciate your time, guys. Looking forward to meeting you.
Dr. Kent.